Welcome back, subscribers. This is Johnny Hopper, and I'm going to do some first looks at some of the new 2020 motorcycles. This is pretty much the time of year that I'm looking to decide what motorcycle I want to ride for next year. So I felt like it was just right to start off with the Husky. Since I've ridden Husky for a couple years, I finished off my pro career on Huskies, and I really like that the way that they're built, from the steel frame to just the throttle response, and I'll get into more of it here in just a sec. Most of the dirt bikes, especially the Japanese bikes, go in generations, and typically before they do huge changes, it's every 4 years. In the Austrian bike with Husky, they seem to make fairly big changes every year. That's a little bit different because they've got the factory edition, and pretty much the new year is last year's factory edition model. We saw that with the 2018s and the 2019s with the different frame measurements, but for 2020, this is looking like this is more or less the 2019 Rockstar Edition Husky with a few minor changes. So don't expect any of the 2020 bikes to blow your socks off. It's going to be until 2021 before huge changes pretty much hit. And one of the biggest changes that I love about this particular motorcycle is it comes with different side panels that have holes in them, so I don't have to drill holes into my plastic anymore. Thank God.
Here's Johnny.
The next thing I probably love about these Huskies that they haven't changed for 2020, but is the steel frame and the carbon fiber subframe. Because of the steel frame, it's fairly light. It's only 2.2 pounds, and it flexes. So it's the same reason why I love this frame is why I love handlebars without the crossbar, like the fat bar, because it just gives you a little bit more flex. It's not as rigid. And as far as the subframe, I've yet to bend one of these subframes before, and I've had 2017, 2018, 2019. To me, that's, knock on wood, typically on the Jap bikes, every time I crashed, I was always rebending, sometimes re-welding my subframe. So the next thing I want to talk about is the WP Exact air forks. They use them on all the FC models, and I've ridden with a lot of different air forks, and these have got to be my favorite. Obviously, spring, I would say, is more precise, but for the general user, air forks are just fine because you don't have to get them re-sprung, because if you weigh 165 or 185 or 210, or if you're like me and you're 150 pounds, well, you need something that can be universal, and that's exactly what the air forks do. So these puppies are a split air fork, so just on the left side is going to be all the air on the preload adjustments, and then on the right you're going to have your 30 clicks of compression and dampening for the rebound on the bottom. I know a lot of individuals say that the valving, however, was a little bit too stiff for 2019. I didn't mind it. I like running my stuff a little bit stiffer, but it's all new for 2020. They're going for a more plush, softer feel to help lean towards, I would say, the more mid-range rider to vet rider, where before they were going more of a pro setting. I do like that the triple clamps are CNC machined, and they're 22 millimeters offset, which just give a little bit more steering stability, which is helpful. But I don't like that it seems like every time you fall down, the front end gets tweaked, and that happens on every motorcycle that I've bought that's been a production motorcycle. I've always had to buy X-Trig or some other aftermarket triple clamps to prevent that from happening. So for 10 grand, I wish we'd have some stronger triple clamps or bar mounts or a combination of both. Husky does claim that the bodywork has actually been improved for new ergonomics and just all-around rider feel. They won't release any information to me The frame and everything looks exactly like the 2019 factory edition, but I'll keep you guys posted as I learn new information about this particular motorcycle. Husky, however, has said that they have changed the second map to more of a American-style aggressive map for 2020. The first map is still going to be that less aggressive, sort of vet-type response. And to be honest, on my 2019, I've run map 1 the entire time. Map 2, the motor seems to bog down, but I am at right around 5,500 feet here in the mountains. And then just some honorable mentions that aren't changing for 2020 is still the Brembo brakes. I've never ridden a bike with stock, just from the factory, brakes this good. And I do love the Magura hydraulic clutch. That's always a bonus. And it does come with this progressive throttle mechanism that they come with little different clips to make the pull either shorter or longer. I always end up buying aftermarket clips to shorten the throttle pull because I don't know if I'm just a millennial that just full throttle all the time or what, but I feel that the ones it comes standard with, it's too long of a pull for the throttle itself. So really, if you're looking to spend 10 grand and you're only planning on buying a bike in the next 5 years or so, I would honestly wait till 2021 when the majority of the manufacturers out there, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Honda, do a new revision. But if you want something that's tested and proven and has been through the burner for the last 4 years, well, buying a 2020 Husky would be a good choice. And this is pretty much the 2019 FC Factory Edition minus the FMF pipe. Well, that is the first look of the 2020 FC 450. I'm not sure if I want to get a factory edition of one of these guys, or if I want to get a works edition Honda, or if I want to get a Yamaha, or if I want to get a Kawasaki. So I'll continue putting these videos out there, and at the end, we'll decide what bike I want to buy. So you guys can help me out too.